In the previous session, we have discussed about the passive transport, and in that passive transport, we have discussed about the diffusion process. Now, in this session, we are going to discuss one of the another passive transport, that is the osmosis. Osmosis is what? Osmosis is the spontaneous net movement of solvent molecules through a selectively permeable membrane into a region of higher concentration of the solute to the region of lower concentration of the solute. And osmosis is of two types, the endoosmosis and the exoosmosis. Endo means to get inside, exo means to move out. Endo means entry and exo means exit out. Now let us study about the endoosmosis. Endoosmosis is the entry of water molecules into the cells through a semi-permeable membrane from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. Means what? The water is entering inside the cell. So what will happen? The cell will gets to be turgid. Turgid means to swell up. मीन्स व्हाट विल हैपन टू द सेल. सेल क्या होगा? स्वेलअप हो जाएगा, मीन्स फूल जाएगा. सेल जो है स्वेलअप होकर फूल जाएगा. क्यों? क्योंकि रीजन वाटर जो है कहाँ है? फ्रॉम आउटसाइड इट गेटिंग्स टू बी इनसाइड. मीन्स वाटर जो है वो इनवर्ड के यानी कि बाहर से अंदर की तरफ मूव कर रहा है. एंड द सेल विल गेट्स टू बी फ्लैसिड turgid condition. Next is exoosmosis. Means what will happen? Exo means to move out. Exo means to move out. It means exoosmosis is what? It is the exit of water molecules from the cells through semi-permeable membrane from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. And what will happen in this? When the water, all the water will move from inside to outside, what will happen? Nothing, no water will be inside the cell. So what will happen to the cell? Cell will shrink, and that condition is called as flaccid. That condition is called as flaccid. We usually put the seeds where? In the sun for the dry up. So how this seeds gets to be dry up? Whatever the moisture or the water is present inside the seed, it gets to be evaporated in the sunlight, and the cells of the seeds becomes to be shrink. Shrink means sikud jana. Good morning children. Now in this session we are going to discuss about the questions what I have given you in the previous session. So let us start the discussion. The first question that I have given you is, do you agree that a cell is a building unit of an organism? If yes, explain why. What should be the answer? Yes. Cell is a building unit of an organism, as every living organism is made up of one or more cell. In unicellular organism, single cell performs all the functions of the life. However, in multicellular organisms, cells become specialized to form tissue, and tissue forms the organ, and organs forms the organ system, each with a specific functions. However, in all these reticles unit, cell remains the basic building unit of all living organisms. Now the next questions, answer is clear to you all. Now the next question is, what would happen if the plasma membrane ruptures or breaks down? The plasma membrane is what? What is the function of the plasma membrane? It maintains the shape and size of the cell. It also maintains the entry and exit of the materials. So if the plasma membrane will rupture, then what will happen? Plasma membrane is also a selective permeable membrane, and if the selective permeable membrane breaks down, then what will happen? All the chemicals composition, or what is the internal content of the cell, what will happen? It will be lost, and it will be not able to perform its basic functions, and automatically what will happen? The cell will die. Now our next question means the third question is that how do substance like CO2, that is carbon dioxide, move in and out of the cell? We have studied about the diffusion process, though it happens by the help of diffusion process. Now the fourth question, write the difference between unicellular and multicellular organism. I have asked you to write only the three difference between. So the difference between the unicellular organisms consist of single cell, multicellular organism consist of many cells. Now the second, the single cell, the unicellular organisms perform all the activities of the life by a single cell. Multicellular organisms performs one or few activities. There are many cells by single cell. Unicellular organisms, third, there is no division of labor because only a single cell is there. But in case of multicellular organism, there is division of labor. Now the fourth difference is that the single cell is involved in the production of new organism during reproduction. But in case of multicellular, only the germ cells takes part in the reproduction. Now the last question, that is the fifth question, name the basic component of the cell. The basic component of the cell is what? The basic component is plasma membrane, the cytoplasm and the nucleus. For osmosis, there must be concentration difference between the solution present outside the cell. Concentration difference, basically in 9th class we will study on the basis of water. So let us have, there are three types of solution we have to study, that is the hypotonic solution, hypertonic solution and isotonic solution. So first we will discuss about the hypotonic solution. If the solution outside the cell has higher concentration of water, then what will happen? The water will move from where? From higher concentration to the lower concentration. So which process will take place? Endoosmosis. So such type of solution is called as hypotonic solution. The next is hypertonic solution. If the concentration of the water is less outside and the cell, then inside is more concentration of water, then what will happen? Then exoosmosis will take place. The water will again move from where? From higher concentration to the lower concentration, and higher concentration is where? Inside the cell. So the water will move from inside towards the outside. So this process is exoosmosis and the solution is called as hypertonic solution. And the last one is the isotonic solution. If the concentration of water is both equal inside and outside, both side it is equal, then that solution is called as the isotonic solution. And in isotonic solution, the cell will remain as it is. No change will be there. No flaccidity, no turgidity. Nothing will be there. No change is there. before starting the difference between the diffusion and the osmosis, we should know one activity about the osmosis process. So one activity we will see that we have to take the raisins. Raisins, you understand, kishmish. In Hindi we used to call it as kishmish. If you are taking raisins in a bowl and put it like that, and after few times what you will see, if you add water in it and soak it for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, what you will see, you will see that all the resins will be swollen up. So due to which process it gets to be swollen up? Due to endoosmosis. Due to endoosmosis. And when you will put these resins in the sun, what will happen? After 3 to 4 hours, you will notice that again the resins will be in the same condition as it was before soaking. Means it gets to be shrinken off. Due to what? Due to which process? Due to exoosmosis. So resins is one of the most appropriate example to view the osmosis process, to do the activity of osmosis process. We can also use apricot. Apricot is also used for the osmosis activity. We have to do also in our lab also, we have to perform this activity. Now let us discuss the difference between diffusion and osmosis. In the previous session we have done diffusion, now we have completed osmosis. So let us have the difference between diffusion and osmosis. Diffusion occurs in both liquid and air medium, but osmosis only usually takes place in the liquid medium. Diffusion involves movement of molecules from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. And osmosis involves the movement of solvent molecules only from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. Now come to diffusion. Diffusion occurs without semi-permeable membrane. Means no use of semi-permeable membrane in case of diffusion. But osmosis always takes place through semi-permeable membrane. Now in case of diffusion, uniform distribution of the molecules takes place. Take the example, we have taken the one activity we have performed with the copper sulfate CuSO4. When it is put in the water, all the color of the solution gets to be uniformly changed into blue color. So we can say that uniform distribution of the molecule is there. But in osmosis, there is no uniform distribution of the molecules. Now in case of diffusion, diffusion depends on the kinetic energy of the molecules. Means as much as the kinetic energy of the molecules will have, there will be the more random motion. But the osmosis does not depends on the kinetic energy. It only influenced by the presence of the solute in the system. How much solute is present in particular system, that only the osmosis process depends. Now let us take the examples in our day-to-day life. Osmosis examples. What are the process that usually takes place during the osmosis process? First, most of the plant used to have the tendency to gain water. So how does the plant used to gain water? By the process of osmosis. Absorption of water. Plants used to absorb water from where? From the root, and root used to have the root hairs, and this absorption of water usually takes place due to the osmosis process. Opening and closing stomata is present where? On the leaf, and this opening and closing of the stomata is done due to the presence of osmosis. In plant, cell, tissue and soft organ maintains their turgidity due to osmotic movement of water. So these are the few uses of osmosis. And evenly in the unicellular organisms, they usually gain water in their body due to osmosis process. So these are few examples of osmosis. Next topic that we have to do is active transport. We have done passive transport. In the passive transport, what happens? No energy use is there. It's a slow process, but now we are going to do active transport. It is the movement of ions and molecules by using energy, and energy in the form of ATP against the concentration gradient. Against the concentration gradient. We have discussed previously what is concentration gradient. So, the active transport is what? It's a very rapid process and it takes place in one direction only. And it uses energy in the form of ATP. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. Now, the second is the bulk transport. Bulk, name से ही पता चल रहा है कि a large amount of material should be transported. Bulk transport. So it is called as the bulk transport. It involves transport of large amount of substances across the plasma membrane by using energy. पहले ही बताया था हमने आपको. Bulk transport. Bulk means a large amount of transportation of material will take place. So in bulk transport, a large amount of substances are transported through this plasma membrane by using the energy. And this bulk transport evenly include two processes, endocytosis and exocytosis. Endocytosis means taking inside, and exocytosis means to move. Exo and endo will always, wherever it will be used, it will have the similar meaning. Endo means inside and exo means outside. So here the endocytosis means how, what are the things, what are the materials taking inside our body, and exocytosis means to waste materials should be thrown outside the body. So let us take endocytosis. Includes two processes, pinocytosis and phagocytosis. Now come endocytosis. Endocytosis, in this process animals engulf food and other substances from external medium by plasma membrane. Means food is taken from the environment, and food usually takes, we have done amoeba. Amoeba you all know. So how does the amoeba used to take their food? They used to take their food from the environment. And amoeba usually what they used to do? They used to engulf the food. So endocytosis process means it is the process of amoeba to take the nutrition from the environment. Endocytosis includes two processes. The first is the phagocytosis and second is pinocytosis. Phagocytosis is the taking in of large food particles. It is also called as cell eating. And pinocytosis is the taking of liquid particles. So it is also called as cell drinking. The last one is exocytosis. Exocytosis, the process by which the cells, waste material of the cell can be removed outside. It is also called as cellular vomiting. Now students, I am giving you some assignment questions. So please complete this assignment, and in the next session we will discuss this assignment questions. So first question is, what is osmosis? Second, write the difference between osmosis and diffusion. Difference between, as much I have given you, difference between, you can write that all that points. Next is, write two difference between passive transport and active transport. We have discussed about this also. And the last and the fourth question is, how does an amoeba obtain its food? This process also we have discussed in this video. So if you will view this video clearly, you will get your answer. Now the last question is, write an activity to show osmosis process with the help of resins. We have also discussed the activity, but only you have to write in the process. What is the process of writing an activity? You have to write in process or activity, and process of writing the activity is, you have to write the activity in a process. So for the process you have to do that, you have to write the requirements, procedure, observation, and the last one is explanation and conclusion. So for writing the activity, you should follow this process. First is requirements, what you are requiring. Second is procedure. Third, observation. Fourth is explanation and conclusion. Clear? So now this session is coming to be